Okay. Hello, and welcome to the Northeast Ohio Media Group Candidate Debates. Thank you for joining us. My name is Ray Jablonski. Today, we are hosting a debate for the East Cleveland City Council Ward 2 seat up for election on November 3rd. With two candidates, we have Council President Barbara Thomas joining us today. Her challenger, Juanita Gowdy, is not here. So we will let Ms. Thomas explain why she is running for re-election.
First of all, my name is Barbara J. Thomas. J is for Jane. And I am running for the position of Ward 2 councilperson. I have been in the city for over or near 50 years. I have raised 5 kids, and I came from, my background is labor. And I was the president of ASME Local 3360 at Metro Health Hospital. I sat on the Ohio Retirement System Board for approximately 17 years, and I could not run for any position in my city. When I found out I was going to retire soon, I looked at my city and I saw it was deteriorating. Therefore, I took up the torch and decided to run because I felt that I could do a better job than what had been done. So that's how I really came into the existence of running for my first term, which was a 2-year term. I then ran for a 4-year term, and I captured that. So I feel that with my experience of 17 years as a union president, understanding legislation and policies and procedures, and on the PERS board dealing with monies and funds, and I feel that I could do a better job than what has been done in the past.
Okay. As we know, in December, there's going to be a recall election for Mayor Norton. Where do you stand on that mayoral recall? Do you believe that Mayor Norton is to blame for the city's financial woes?
Are you saying that there's going to, I don't know of any recall.
Well, I thought there was a recall.
There was a recall, but the recall was for Councilman Thomas Wheeler.
Okay, I'm aware of Councilman Wheeler, right?
Yes. And are you asking me about Mayor Norton?
Yes. Do you believe Mayor Norton is to blame for the city's financial woes and problems that are taking place?
I think that he's part of the problem. If you're part of the problem, you're certainly not part of the solution. Mayor Norton has done nothing to bring in economic development. He has done nothing to bring about change. When he was the president of council, he had all these creative ideas which has not been produced in the years that he has been in office. He was supposed to bring in a financial recovery plan. He missed that twice. And it was turned down by the commission, the auditor's commission. And because all of these things are going on, our city is steadily deteriorating. We do need a change, but we need a change in administration because administrative issues are constantly getting in the way. And Mayor Norton continuously blames other individuals for his shortcomings. So therefore, I have been noticing that our residents are now seeing through all of the minutiae and are very, their eyes are open and they're beginning to realize that he can spin a yarn as long as it takes to make a sweater. That was supposed to be a joke.
Mayor Norton has introduced or has gotten a 5-year financial recovery plan. What do you think of that proposal?
I'm sorry, ask me the question again.
Mayor Norton has a 5-year financial recovery plan that he is pushing through that would involve cutting 30 jobs in the city. Where do you stand on that?
Mayor Norton does not have a financial recovery plan in place. The financial plan is supposed to be in place by the 30th. I had a meeting with Mayor Norton, the financial director, and Tish, the financial manager from the auditor's office, and really there was nothing accomplished because at that meeting we had a deficit from the health care, and without the health care requisitions and numbers, you cannot put a plan together. So they were supposed to come back and let me know whether or not we have got a meeting with the third-party administrator so we can get those full numbers in place.
Okay. But do you support, I know this part of the plan does involve cutting 30 jobs in the city. Do you support that proposal?
I never support cutting that many jobs. I think that if Mayor Norton and the auditor's manager can get everything together, they could do better. Mm-hmm. And that's what the problem is now. They aren't doing better.
Okay. Should East Cleveland consider merging with Cleveland?
There is always a possibility of considering anything. But since all the options has not been dealt with, we have hired, the council has hired this, have engaged Buckley and King, which is a prominent attorney firm for looking to see if there's any other options out there, and has contacted consultants which are willing to look at it and see if other options out there. The mayor has only looked at one option, and that is to merge. He doesn't look at another way of doing things or doing business. He only goes straight forward. And it's so possible that he has done this for his own self-indulgence. And I am not in favor of a merger at this particular time because we have not looked at all our options.
What would be the most favorable option for, in your eyes, in your mind?
Like I said, to look out and see if we could get more revenue in through foundations and grants and all of that, which Buckley and King said they are able to do. So I'm waiting for that to happen, which they're constantly working on this. And in the meantime, the mayor had pushed through petitions that said that they were going to do a study, which the people thought that that's what actually those petitions were. And they came to find out that those petitions actually was to produce a merger.
Okay. You talk about increasing revenue, finding ways to increase revenues. One of those potentially, what about traffic cameras, which used to be in the city and are not, of course, anymore? Would you like to see those returned?
No, because they didn't work. And basically, when it first started, God bless her soul, our former Councilwoman Mildred Brewer wanted those cameras only at the school areas because individuals were running through lights and not stopping for the kids, and it was a safety factor at that particular time. But right now, it's a cash cow. And even when you look at it, if you go up there and protest it, it can be removed. And now apparently it's not, the law is saying no. But the East Cleveland is still collecting those ticket revenues. No, it is not what we should be doing.
Okay. In terms of economic development, I know you mentioned that earlier, that you would like to see more, what exactly would you like to see in the city?
Well, first of all, you just can't stay within the boundaries of East Cleveland. You got to reach out beyond the boundaries of East Cleveland and try to engage your neighbors, sharing services. When I first came in office, I wanted to deal with sharing services with Cleveland, their rubbish collection. But at that particular time, I didn't realize that it was against the law. Here lately, the law has changed, and you can now do the service. We tried going with the our fire department, but that was not a cost-saving factor. So I'm thinking that there's a lot of sharing that we can do, like the finance. You can share, get grants and reach out for grants. We don't even have a grant writer. So I'm saying that there are a lot of things that we could do, economic development as far as our CDBG monies, our home programs, and reaching out to Cleveland State, to university area, and have dorms coming in. And you also need to have, there's a legislation that was put in place where we were to keep track of the residents that were coming in, and we're losing thousands of dollars because we're not tracking the area of who's in East Cleveland and who's not. There was a gentleman that used to do it, but he passed away, so we don't have anybody. These and buildings are standing. People are buying buildings and from out of town, and they're standing there. You're not collecting any of the money off of them. Matter of fact, we got a building just. Okay.
I know that there's problems with the fire trucks are in dilapidated condition. The service trucks, I mean, it's been well publicized. What is the city doing to try and upgrade those trucks and provide the needed services to the residents?
Well, they're trying to find the monies to get it fixed. We know, as you know, we've been donated a couple of trucks, and so far my chief is saying that we're still running, and actually we are one of the highest run fire department around.
Explain that. What do you mean?
When I'm saying that, we go out on runs for a fire, and we accomplish what we need to accomplish, and we have never let any person get stranded there. We have our fire department has done an excellent job of keeping up, even though some of our trucks were down, but they were replenished by, the Ford company. Mm-hmm. Okay.
What is the response time on a typical fire run?
At this particular time, I forgot. I actually forgot.
Okay. What is the most important service that is not provided in the city now that you would like to see provided?
Well, I can name several.
Okay, pick a couple.
But at this particular time, we have our streets are really in bad shape. They got potholes, but everybody else, every other community has potholes. We also are now engaged in tearing down buildings, and that we have joined in with the land bank, the Cuyahoga County Land Bank, and our land bank. So we're doing a terrific job in tearing down those dilapidated buildings. But we also have streets and areas that need to be cleaned up. Some of them are looking like a war zone. Say, for instance, Howard is close to the University Circle line. We also have Page, which is on the other end going towards Noble Road. I like to see these streets repaved, potholes done. We can't do that. They're tearing up people's cars. Not only are they tearing up East Cleveland's cars, but they're tearing up cars that come through from Cleveland Heights, from every other area, and it's causing a problem. I like to see those streets done.
Okay. How do you inspire more, how do you get the citizens to be more confident about the way their government is running?
That's a good question. East Cleveland constituents have been very patient. But due to the mismanagement in the administrative area, they have become what a soldier would call collateral damage. They don't have what they need, the services that they need, they can't get anymore. So I am saying that we continuously have to work to engage them like I'm doing right now. I have a big ward meeting that I am preparing to get to at 6:30. And at that particular time, I pass out the last recovery plan, the commission's minutes. I let them know what monies we have. I let them know that we had to amend the certificate of resources twice. Mm-hmm. These are the things that I talk to them about. I just don't talk to them about potholes. So I want them to be educated so that they will know how to make educated decisions when it comes to asking your council or asking people for different services. We have a lot of critters all over the place, and we don't have the critter control anymore. We used to have critter control, and they're talking about critters, mm-hmm. Okay? We got a lot of things that used to happen that's not happening now, and they're getting totally dissatisfied. We got dogs running loose that we used to have dog catchers. We don't have that anymore. And there are a lot of things that we could be doing if we had a grant writer to go after these grants like the other cities do. Youngstown, for instance. There is a lot of communities that have been successful when they were down. We are basically the only black on black community, and I think that we can do better if we had something to do better. Yes, we need a change, but what kind of change do we need? We need a positive change. Somebody with creative thinking, somebody that has vision, somebody that just don't want to sit there and spin a yarn and then tell it to us and have no resources to do that with. I'm very sorry.
No, are you going to run? Sounds like you want to run for mayor in a couple of years.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm happy.
You wouldn't run for mayor at all?
I have not considered it. My constituents and a lot of other people have asked me to run, but at this particular time, I like what I do. I like being able to get out and be amongst the people. I like to go sit on somebody's porch and say, "What you having for dinner?" I like to be able to go. A lady just called me today over off from Penrose. She says there's tennis shoes hanging on the wires. And goodness knows, I didn't know what tennis shoes meant. Do you know what tennis shoes mean when they're hanging on the right? There is drugs being sold there.
I was going to say. Yeah.
So, and there's other things that happens that my constituents talk to me freely about, where they would not talk freely to the mayor. Mm-hmm. They call the mayor, they don't get an answer at the mayor's office, and it's top heavy. you got people in this little community making buku money, and you're talking about laying off my police. You're talking about laying off my firemen, which you can't lay off my fire too much because there is something in the contract that says they have to have minimum manning. So coming from a labor background, I know all these things. And looking at their contract, they don't make that much money out in East Cleveland, but they stay there because they're dedicated. And the police, they stay there because they're dedicated. And people talk about, well, your police is this. Well, if you look at Cleveland and you look at the other areas, you look at, I was watching CNN today, and I had to cut it off because it was horrible. And it seems like our little community can do better if they had management and it wasn't mismanaged. I'm a council president, and I think the perception of East Cleveland is not what it should be. We should be out there promoting the things that we have, the assets that we have. We have a library. We have the rapid transit that goes all the way out to East Cleveland. We have a theater that nobody even know we got a theater. That Euclid could be a mecca, just like the Palace Theater downtown. These are things, and I reached out to my merchants. I had a meeting with the merchants. You got to deal with the small businesses because they're the ones that are carrying the city on, plus the homeowners that has been there for 50 years like myself. I pay my taxes, they pay their taxes, and they're not getting the kind of service that they should get in return for what they're doing.
Is there anything else that you would like to add about your candidacy?
You know, I'm the best one there. I know my city. I can tell you what's in my 3 miles. I love my city. I've seen it when it was better. Judge Adams, who didn't allow you to go too fast or go too slow. I don't want the city to be like it was because it was a bedroom community. I want a up and hustling and bustling community. I think we should have our own automobile, license. We got cars, we drive cars. Why do we have to go out our city to get license
License
plates?
bureau?
The license bureau. And they're separate and apart. They're privately owned now. Yes, I am the best one for East Cleveland, and I don't want to be anything else right now. But the council, I love what I do. I love my people. I love my neighbors. And I'm going to win this election.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, and thank you for joining us. Please check back to cleveland.com to read stories about the debates, issues, and candidates for the upcoming election. And early voting is already underway. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.